Welcome back to the conclusion of our study called Canaan's Curse. We were looking at Genesis chapter 9, 18 through 29. And today we're looking at the conclusion. And, as we conclude this study, as we finish this up, as we finish Genesis chapter 9, we've learned some valuable lessons, some very valuable lessons. We must remember that God cares for us. God has made us so many promises, and He's made so many to us, and all are true. And He won't falter on any of them. He's not going to default. He's not going to miss one or forget one. They all come true. So we need to read His promises. We need to know what these promises are. He made them to us. Why wouldn't we want to know what they are? We need to know His promises. Not just read them, but we need to understand them. What do they mean? What is going to happen? What has He promised for us in this life and the life to come? And then finally, we need to trust His promises. You might go through a time of chaos and your world might be completely changed. I mean, for a lot of people, this is happening right now. But God has established His covenant with you, and nothing will change that. Nothing can change that. Also remember that God cares for the nations, and so should you. God made the nations and is even now drawing people from every nation into His church. Every nation will be represented around the throne of God. That's the promise. Every nation will be there. So every nation needs to hear the gospel. And we've been sent to make disciples of what? All nations. That's the Great Commission. So we should also be reminded of the dangers of alcohol and the far-reaching consequences of sin. It's right there in the text. This should speak directly to young people who think that partying and getting drunk is what you're supposed to do as a young person. Believe me, the sins that you commit at any age, whether you're old like Noah or younger, like Ham was, though he was an old man compared to our standards, it didn't matter what age. Whenever you commit a sin, even as a young person, those sins will have a way of finding you out. That's how it is. That's how God set things up. That's what happens. There's always consequences for sin. And if you think that you're the only one that will suffer for your sin, like you're doing it and no one else will get hurt, then think again. We as parents we must know that our individual sins must assuredly impact our children. If our sins that we do, we shouldn't think that we're just going to get away with it or it's not going to impact our children or grandchildren. I mean, Genesis is a witness to the opposite of that. It's a witness to that every sin committed has impact, and it's a wide range. It doesn't just impact the person that's done it. It impacts your heritage, your legacy that you're leaving behind. One last thing before we go. This story of the failure of Noah, the cursing of Canaan, and the blessing of Shem and Japheth should teach us that God is in control and that He's able to save, and He will accomplish His purposes in humanity. Think about it. Even those who were in the cursed line of Canaan were not too far gone to be saved. That's amazing. If you flip a few books forward to the book of Joshua, you find a prostitute named Rahab, a Canaanite, who was spared by God from destruction. She became a Jew and then became a part of Shem's family. Not only that, but she would be in the line of the Messiah, Jesus Christ. Those that say that they're too far gone to be saved are those who think that someone is too evil to be saved. Those people don't understand Rahab's story and don't understand the sovereignty, the plan and the power of God. Look at what He did. Rahab was part of the cursed line, but yet she becomes part of the Messiah's family in the line of Jesus Christ? Amazing. So may we all grow in the knowledge of the great God that saved Noah and saved his family, who saved people like Rahab and saved Ruth, who shouldn't be in the family either. Brought all those people, bringing all the nations together. If He can do that, He can save us too.